SCP-4178 Arachnespheksophobia. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. As of recorded date September 1st, 1998, all 19 retrieved instances of SCP-4178-1 to -19 respectively are to be contained in vivariums no less than 10 meters by 20 meters, with small pools of water and a sandy substrate as interior. Male and female instances are to be contained separately to prevent further mating and the possible death of male instances. SCP-4178 specimens are to be only taken out of their vivariums for testing purposes. SCP-4178-20 is kept in a standard containment locker with an internal temperature of -1 degree Celsius. Every 2 weeks, no less than 2 Class D personnel equipped with reinforced apiarist suits are to be sent in the chamber to clean and collect any unnecessary webbing produced by the organisms. This behavior is theorized to prevent web from building up in the abdomen of the instances and thus is considered normal. Any eggs located during cleaning sessions are to be immediately collected and stored in a well-lit freezer with an internal temperature that does not exceed 2 degrees Celsius. Description: SCP-4178 are a species of carnivorous arachnids resembling members of the Arachnidae family. Footnote 1. Family of spiders consisting of orb weavers. SCP-4178 possesses the abdomen and wings of a Vespula germanica. Footnote 2. German wasp. Analysis showed that the species of SCP-4178 is one of the largest flying arthropods to have existed, second to Meganuria monyi. SCP-4178 specimens have been shown to be able to produce venom in both the stinger and the fangs. Analysis has shown that the venom located in the stinger is much more potent than the venom in the fangs. It has been noted that the female members of the species are significantly larger than the males, a common trait seen in regular spider and most wasp species. Male and female individuals have not shown any other sexual dimorphism. Instances of SCP-4178 were discovered in the cave of an abandoned village located in Spain, housing a colony of specimens comprising of around 50 individuals. A large hive was recovered along the 20 instances. The rest of the colony was killed during the recovery. Other colonies were discovered in the surrounding area and were subsequently eliminated. A cover scenario was created following the operation. DNA tests have shown that the SCP-4178 specimens possess a unique kind of DNA. No traces of Vespidi DNA have been found. SCP-4178 will leave a stung victim in a state of complete paralysis, followed by an anaphylactic shock after a few minutes. Soon afterwards, multiple instances of SCP-4178 will approach the paralyzed prey and will begin secreting a paste-like webbing from their spinneret glands located at the tip of their abdomen under the stinger, and will start wrapping the prey with it. This process tends to take up to 40 minutes for humans. Larger prey can take up to an hour to be fully covered by the webbing. Solidification of the cocoon usually takes up to 15 minutes. After solidifying, the web takes the appearance of a wasp nest. SCP-4178 species can be traced back to 240 million years ago in the middle of the Triassic period through fossil record. These ancestors don't possess wings, unlike their modern relatives. Fossils found in Redacted, in the northern parts of Spain, as well as near Santarém, Brazil, shows that these organisms built trapdoors in the floor using the paste-like silk. The first known fossil found with wing markings date from 140 million years ago, during the late Jurassic period. Experiment Log 4178 1. Date: February 10th, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: research SCP-4178's behavior in the presence of a pompilid wasp. Test subject: Pompilidae pepsis, tarantula hawk wasp. Test result: 7 female instances of SCP-4178 were placed in the testing chamber. Once the SCP-4178 instance settled, 10 Pompilidae pepsis were added to the testing chamber. Despite SCP-4178's size dwarfing Pompilidae pepsis, all SCP-4178s approached them with caution, keeping their distance. After approximately 37 minutes since the testing began, every SCP-4178 instance cornered themselves in the bottom left corner of the testing chamber, showing signs of being distressed and aggravated. 24 minutes later, testing was discontinued as instances continued to be in this state for the remaining time. Test was repeated on male instances of SCP-4178 with the same result. Note: while this may be instinctual behavior from SCP-4178, it could also be a sign of an expected intelligence level. Further testing with other species has been accepted to expand this theory. Experiment Log 4178-2. Date: February 16th, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: research SCP-4178's behavior in the presence of another large arachnid. Test subject: Theraphosa blondie, Goliath bird-eater tarantula. Test result: 3 SCP-4178 instances were placed into the testing chamber before a single Theraphosa blondie was brought in. Once the Theraphosa blondie was placed into the chamber, all SCP-4178 instances ignored it, carrying on with their unusual activity. Testing finished after 3 hours with no added result. Note: compared to the test with the Pompilidae pepsis, this was an unexpected result. It has been requested that the tarantula hawk wasp test would be carried out, but with a longer time duration than before. Experiment Log 4178-3. Date: February 19th, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: research SCP-4178's behavior in the presence of a pompilid wasp for a longer duration. Test subject: Pompilidae pepsis, tarantula hawk wasp. Test result: test began with the same layout as Experiment Log 4178-1. As expected, the SCP-4178 instances repeated the same behavior as the previous Pompilidae pepsis experiment, placing themselves in the bottom left corner of the chamber. After approximately 4.5 hours of this behavior, one Pompilidae pepsis attacked one SCP-4178, stressing the instances and causing it to fly out of the corner. The instance that was attacked fell and the Pompilidae pepsis advanced on the SCP-4178, paralyzing the instance. Another SCP-4178 instance flew out of the corner and eliminated the attacking Pompilidae pepsis. All other SCP-4178s joined it and attacked the remaining Pompilidae pepsis. The paralyzed instance was recovered and monitored. Analysis showed that the immunity system of the instance quickly rid the body of the Pompilidae's venom. Note: this test brought us an interesting fact. SCP-4178's immunity system appears to be extremely resilient to venom compared to other arthropods and even humans. Further analysis of the biology of SCP-4178 should be made as soon as possible. Experiment Log 4178-4. Date: February 24th, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: Research whether SCP-4178 specimens can tell the difference between an inanimate object and a living being. Test subject: plastic mannequin representing a young woman, commonly used in clothing display. Test result: mannequin was placed in the center of the chamber. SCP-4178 specimen introduced in the room after approximately 2 minutes. SCP-4178 initiated flight and searched the chamber for 5 minutes before rapidly moving towards the mannequin. SCP-4178 started biting and stinging the mannequin, but soon stopped. SCP-4178 proceeded to what appeared to be sensing the mannequin with its stinger. Test ended after SCP-4178 resumed roaming the room for 10 minutes. Note: despite initially showing sign of aggressiveness towards the mannequin, the reaction of SCP-4178 after discovering the prey was not a living being shows a degree of intelligence not shown in most arthropods. It also seems that SCP-4178 species naturally sees humans as prey. This is deduced by observing SCP-4178's reaction upon locating the mannequin during flight and testing. Experiment Log 4178-5 Date: March 2nd, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: research SCP-4178's behavior towards its ancestor. Test subject: ancestor of SCP-4178 species recovered from SCP-646, labeled SCP-4178-Omega. Test result: female instance, designated SCP-4178-14, is introduced to the test chamber. After 5 minutes, SCP-4178-Omega is introduced to the chamber. SCP-4178-Omega is observed drumming for 25 minutes. SCP-4178-14 is soon afterwards observed to start shaking, after which SCP-4178-Omega started moving toward SCP-4178-14 at a slow pace until fully facing SCP-4178-14's rear. SCP-4178-Omega proceeded to rub his pedipalps on SCP-4178-14, then quickly retreated to a corner of the room. Test ended after 10 minutes of no further movement from the instances. SCP-4178-14 was retrieved and put in a vivarium until she laid an egg sac. The egg sac was quickly recovered. Analysis indicated that all the eggs were infertile. SCP-4178-14 was restored in the female vivarium shortly after. Note: soon after the test ended, SCP-4178-Omega was placed in the male vivarium and appears to have been accepted by the other instances. It appears that SCP-4178-Omega species used to use both pedipalps to prevent sperm competition between males. Experiment Log 4178-6 Date: March 7th, 2000 redacted. Purpose of the test: study SCP-4178's behavior toward another large flying arthropod. Test subject: Meganura brogniardi, recovered from SCP-3057. Test result: 4 SCP-4170 instances were introduced into the testing chamber before a lone Meganura brogniardi was brought in. Once the Meganura brogniardi was placed into the chamber, all SCP-4178 instances ignored it, carrying on with their usual activity. After 15 minutes, the Meganura charged onto a lone instance, later identified as SCP-4178-20, latching on the back of SCP-4178-20 and proceeding to tear off the wings and abdomen of SCP-4178-20, incapacitating it. The 3 remaining instances soon noticed what happened and started to attack the Meganeura brogniardi. Subject soon fell to the floor of the chamber, the twitching of the wings indicating it was still alive at the time. The largest of the SCP-4178 present during the test advanced towards the Meganeura and proceeded to remove the head with the use of its fangs. The instance got around SCP-4178-20 and started encasing it in web. After 1 hour of no additional results, the test was ended. The remains of SCP-4178-20 were recovered and stored in a temporary freezer. Note: unlike regular insects, it appears that SCP-4178 species is capable of feeling sorrow as well as anger when witnessing the death of a member of its species. Additional note: testing has been suspended following the loss of SCP-4178-20. The reaction of the Meganeura and the death of SCP-4178-20 were not planned, and we don't want to lose any more of the remaining instances. Signed, 05 Redacted. Addendum 4178-1. Expedition Log. In 19 Redacted, an expedition was sent to investigate a rumor mentioning the children of the spider goddess in a secluded region of Brazil was initiated. After several days of searching the surroundings, a hidden pre-Columbian temple was found, supposedly built by an unknown pre-Columbian tribe. An immediate query sent from Commanding Officer Researcher W demanded 2 Class D personnel from Site Redacted on immediate transfer, 2 standard exploration field kits, 2 wireless headsets capable of recording and transmitting audio. All requests were accepted. The following video transcript was filmed during the first exploration attempt on the 19th of May, 19 Redacted. Camera wearers were D22371 and D3435. Begin log. Background audio was heard. Voice identified as Researcher W, briefing Class Ds before entry. Head-mounted video viewing becomes active. No anomalous surroundings are noted at this time. Footage shows subject D22371 entering the tomb with moderate hesitation stating that, "I don't deal with this voodoo shit." Subject was promised extra free time privileges when relocated back to Site Redacted if expedition was conducted. Compromise was agreed upon without hesitation, and subject enters overhanging doorway to the temple. D3435 enters following behind. Command: last microphone and video check before you go in any further. I want you both to wave your hands in front of the cameras and slowly count down from 10 to 1 in sync. You got that? D3435. Alright, Doc. Both D3435 and D22371 complete the task. No technical discrepancies noted, and subjects are cleared for further entry. Begin to descend deeper into the temple entrance. After advancing within the temple for a few minutes, connection was lost with command. Nearing a chamber. D22371. Doc, you there? Great, we lost comms at the surface. Who cares? They said we just have to go in and out. Shouldn't take long. True. Let's continue then. You first. After 10 minutes of walking, D3435 and D22371 spot an archway with an opening filled with valuable items in the distance. A hallway and 1 flight of stairs is all that is between them and the items. Holy shit, is that a fucking treasure room? Judging by the large stacks of gold, I'd say yes. D22371 is seen running towards the entrance. Wait. D22371 suddenly stops and turns slowly and looks at D3435. Both stop and face each other. Listen here, I'm just trying to have a bit of fun. I finally got the chance to do something, so I'm gonna make this worthwhile. Yeah, well, I just don't trust a temple built centuries ago. It could be falling apart or have snakes, venomous large snakes with giant ass fangs, and stop being so fucking paranoid. Why were we sent in here? Don't you think they could go themselves? Because they know we are fit for the job. Forget about it. D3435 begins to walk alongside D22371. Do you think we'd be able to keep some of the stuff we find? I'd imagine not. They begin to walk down the stairs. Meh, I'll take some anyway. I'm sure no one is gonna notice. Besides, it's not like they will. D223571 trips on something sticking out of the corner and falls near the bottom of the stairwell while letting out a scream. Fuck, are you alright? What the hell happened? Nah, you bandit. Something touched me. D22371 gets up slowly. This place is a wreck. I think I hurt my ankle. D3435 checks out what caused him to trip. What on earth is that? D22371 grabs his ankle. What is what? D3435 gasps. What? I think you tripped on a corpse. Really, mate? It's an ancient tomb. Of course there are bodies. No, I mean it looks kind of fresh. Huh. Why don't you go check? D3435 cautiously returns to the stairs. Dude, there are like 2 bodies. They still have skin. Ugh, this is disgusting. I wonder what causes that. Is this place cursed or some shit? D3435 goes back down quietly. You think you can walk? Yeah, I'll be okay. Let's continue. I hate this place so goddamn much. By the way, I'm gonna guess, considering the next room is a treasury, that this place has a ton of traps. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't want to finish like the 2 rotting guys up there. After walking down 25 steps, cameras show meticulously drawn symbols into the temple walls. These engravings show men praying inside a cave around an altar with a large paramount being forcing spiders out of its mouth and eyes. Analysis of these carvings have presented themselves as the prophesized Arachnid goddess, a tribal religious deity heavily worshipped under the act of human sacrifice. Retrieved dated sacred texts have described the goddess as our mother in skin, in bones, and sky, as the one who guides us with the blood path to fortune, and we give the baby with sin to her in sting, feast, and redacted, so we do not suffer the burden of cruel Newman. D22371 appears distressed, although both still walk in silence for approximately 3 minutes before stopping. What the hell is that supposed to be? D22371's video footage appears to show another carving depicting 2 people dressed in monk-like attire, the robe being ripped in multiple places on both subjects, gifting a newborn child, inside a basket, to the goddess at the altar. Beats me, was never a religious man myself. Could never understand any of it, this just proves my case. Doesn't this kind of stuff freak you out? I mean, just look at what it's doing to that poor kid. Come on, man. I don't want to be down here for long either, just man up and continue. Seen via D22371's video feed, D3435 appears to be notably shaken, sweating profusely and looking apprehensive. After 2 minutes, D3435 appears to proceed and is then seen walking alongside D22371 with his hand on the wall. After 5 minutes of walking through a temple, a dead end can be seen in the distant footage. D3435 stops before they can reach it. Hey, I think I got something here. What is it? We're practically at the end, so we can piss off back to the start and get out of this place. D3435 begins to push on a part of the wall, which starts to open, revealing a hidden room with 2 buttons, with the design of a wasp and spider respectively. Christ, this place just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? Well, I don't want to find out what's inside, so you may take the lead. D22371 is seen walking towards the buttons, presumably to inspect them. You scared of some spiders? D3435 aggressively shakes his head, which leads to D22371 entering first, and D3435 following him soon after into the hidden room. We have some more buttons over here. I'm tempted to press them, but I think this whole place will go Temple of Doom on us. That science guy told us to check everything, so start pressing them. This place looks old, so maybe it won't do anything and we get to go home. D22371 seems to hesitate, but then presses the 2 buttons. After a couple seconds of pressing the buttons, a piece of the wall moves out of the way to reveal a secret chamber, and a light mist arriving at the shins leaks from the chamber. What the hell? Alright, let's just tell these scientists back there that this was all we found. D22371 stops mid-sentence, and the camera reveals that there is a mummified corpse wearing a jewel around their neck. D22371 is then seen to slowly wander in. Dude, what are you doing? I see something here. As D22371 gets closer to the corpse, the mist begins to lower and starts to reveal a dead instance of SCP-4178 in a curled up position. D3435 soon notices the dead instance and begins to step away from the entrance. Oh, fuck, what is that? Dude, I need your fucking help. D22371 successfully approaches the mummified corpse and takes the jewel, only to turn around and see the half-buried instance of SCP-4178 in the mist. Wow, what the fuck is that? Wait, I think it's dead. D3435 is seen standing by the wall, trying to gain some distance from the dead instance. Oh yeah? What's making you think that, Sherlock? Look at how its legs are curled up. It's dead. I used to keep spiders before being sent to jail. I know the body language of the thing. What? Dude, I get you were scared of spiders and all that, but come see this shit. The damn thing has wings and a big-ass body. Almost like a hornet. Great. Flying fucking spiders. Let's go back to the surface. I'm not spending any more time in this hellhole. End log. After 1 hour and 34 minutes, D22371 and D3435 successfully came back to the surface. Analysis of the sacrificial chamber showed that approximately 12 bodies of SCP-4178 were found, as well as 36 cocoons found all throughout the temple. Live eggs were found in another hidden chamber within the temple. They seem to be kept in a sort of stasis by the temperature of the room ranging around 5 degrees Celsius. It is unknown how the tribe managed to keep the room at this temperature. Addendum. Following the exploration, it was theorized that the temple was built around 1,000 years ago. It appears that the temple was a tribute to the Mayan god Amu-Zinkab and the great goddess of Teotihuacan. Thank you for listening to SCP-4178, Arachnespheksophobia, by D.L. Baryonyx. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like and subscribe, and follow the link in the description to the SCP Wiki, and vote up the article to support the author and the SCP Wiki as a whole.